You wake up motivated. Today is the day. You open your laptop. You stare at the task. It's not even that hard. And then somehow, you're watching productivity videos instead of being productive. You reorganize your desk. You answer 3 emails that absolutely did not need answering. You tell yourself, I just need to get in the right mood. An hour later, you feel guilty. 2 hours later, slightly anxious. By evening, you're exhausted from doing almost nothing. And here's the worst part. You're not lazy. You're not incapable. You're not undisciplined. But you keep doing it. If that feels painfully familiar, good. Because today, we're going to talk about why your brain loves procrastination and how to hack it in 5 minutes. My name is Nick, and I spend way too much time thinking about how the human mind sabotages itself. If you're someone who keeps overthinking, procrastinating, or repeating the same emotional patterns, make sure to hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up if this helps you out. Now let's talk about the uncomfortable truth. Procrastination is not a time management problem. It's an emotional regulation strategy. And here's the thing. Your brain isn't designed to make you successful. It's designed to keep you safe. That's where everything starts. Most people believe procrastination is about discipline. If I were more motivated, if I had better habits, if I just tried harder. Look, that sounds logical. It's also wrong. In 2013, a study published in Psychological Science found that procrastination is strongly linked to impulsivity and emotion regulation, not laziness. Other research from Dr. Tim Peichel and Dr. Fuskia Sirois shows that procrastination is essentially a mood repair strategy. You're not avoiding the task. You're avoiding the feeling the task creates. That anxiety, that self-doubt, that fear of doing it badly, that uncertainty. Here's what most people don't realize. When you procrastinate, your brain is actually trying to help you, just in a very short-sighted way. Step 1. The emotional trigger. Let's break down what actually happens. You open your laptop to work on a big project. Immediately, your brain runs a rapid subconscious evaluation. Is this easy or hard? Is this safe or risky? Will this make me feel competent or exposed? If the task feels uncertain or overwhelming, your brain activates the amygdala, the threat detection system. Now, it's not a tiger chasing you. But psychologically, uncertainty equals threat, and your brain hates uncertainty. So what does it do? It nudges you towards something predictable. Scrolling, snacking, checking notifications, cleaning. These behaviors provide small, immediate dopamine rewards. Now here's where it gets interesting. A 2018 study in Nature Communications showed that the anticipation of a small reward activates dopamine circuits more reliably than long-term goals. Translation? Your brain would rather get a tiny guaranteed reward now than a big uncertain reward later. That's not weakness. That's wiring. Step 2. The safety bias. You might be thinking, okay, but I know the long-term goal matters more. Why doesn't that override the impulse? Because your brain runs on something called present bias. Present bias means we overvalue immediate rewards and undervalue future rewards. Evolutionarily, this made sense. If you saw food, you ate it. If you saw danger, you ran. There was no 5-year plan. There was survival. Your brain hasn't updated its software. Your goals live in the prefrontal cortex, the rational planning system. But stress and discomfort activate the limbic system, the emotional survival system. And under stress, the limbic system wins, every time. This is why you can intellectually want success and emotionally choose comfort. Your brain isn't asking, will this make me proud next month? It's asking, will this reduce discomfort right now? Now we go deeper. Because this isn't just about dopamine. It's about identity. Imagine you're about to submit a piece of work. If you try your absolute best and it fails, what does that say about you? That you're not good enough. But if you procrastinate and rush it, you have an excuse. I didn't really try. I was busy. I could have done better. Procrastination protects your identity. This is where it gets really interesting. Self-handicapping, a well-documented psychological behavior, shows that people sometimes create obstacles to protect their self-esteem. Procrastination is self-handicapping. It keeps your potential intact. You never fully test it, because testing it is risky. Now here's the trap. You procrastinate. You feel guilty. You feel ashamed. And what does guilt create? More negative emotion. And what does your brain do with negative emotion? It tries to escape it. So you procrastinate again. This becomes a feedback loop. Task to anxiety. Anxiety to avoidance. Avoidance to relief. Relief to guilt. Guilt to more anxiety, and anxiety to more avoidance. You think the problem is laziness. The real problem is emotional avoidance. Now let's talk about how to hack this. Not with motivation, with psychology. Because here's what most people don't realize. Starting is the hardest neurological barrier. Once you begin, the brain shifts states. There's something called the Zeigarnik Effect, the tendency to remember unfinished tasks better than completed ones. When you start something, your brain creates cognitive tension. It wants closure. So here's the 5-minute rule. You don't commit to finishing. You commit to 5 minutes. That's it. Now you might be thinking, that sounds too simple. Exactly. Because the brain resists magnitude, but it doesn't resist small commitments. 5 minutes feels safe. No identity threat. No overwhelming future. No massive expectation. Just 5 minutes. And once you start, dopamine shifts from avoidance to progress. Momentum kicks in. Most of the time, you'll continue. But even if you don't, you just trained your brain that starting isn't fatal. And that matters. Let's make this practical. Step 1. Label the emotion. Instead of saying, I don't feel like it, say, I'm feeling anxious about this. Research on affect labeling shows that naming emotions reduces amygdala activation. You calm the threat system just by identifying it. Step 2. Shrink the threat. Ask, what is the smallest possible version of this task? Not, write the report. Open the document. That's it. Step 3. Reframe identity. Instead of, I need to finish this, try, I'm the kind of person who starts. This shifts focus from outcome to identity. And identity-based behavior is far more stable. Let me tell you about a student I once worked with. Brilliant, ambitious, could not start assignments. Every time she opened her laptop, she felt a wave of dread. Not because the work was hard, because it mattered. If she failed, it meant something. So we didn't work on productivity. We worked on emotion. Her only rule was, open the document and write one bad sentence. That's it. No perfection, no pressure. Within 2 weeks, her starting resistance dropped dramatically. Not because she became disciplined, because she stopped seeing starting as dangerous. Here's what most people don't realize. Motivation follows action, not the other way around. You don't wait to feel ready. You move first. And movement creates psychological evidence. Evidence builds confidence. Confidence reduces threat. Reduced threat reduces avoidance. This is where it all connects. Procrastination isn't about time. It's about perceived threat to your emotional safety and identity. Lower the threat. You lower procrastination. Next time you catch yourself procrastinating, don't say, what's wrong with me? Ask, what am I trying not to feel? That question alone changes everything. If this made you see procrastination differently, subscribe. Because the more you understand your mind, the less it controls you. And remember, discipline isn't about force. It's about psychology. I'll see you in the next one.